from a tourist perspective. You know, when I look at the money, I can see a lot about their culture, something that I may have not had known.
Yeah.
You know, before, and be like, oh, okay, well, let me go see if they're doing some kind of ceremony where I can see this dance.
Exactly. Yeah,
You know?
yeah. For us
So
as
that's
well,
cool.
like if we had a $100 bill on it and we was on it, and then it had somebody jigging, or Zydecoing, right?
OMG.
That would be a little clean now. What's good, y'all? It's the Demouchets REACT, and we're back with another video. Who we got today, C?
Today we're back with another American reaction. Super excited about this video. If you're new to us and we're new to you, make sure you scroll down, hit that subscribe button, and turn on the post notification bell
because we're on the road to 100K.
And we cannot get there without you guys, all right? Join the family. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
When I was in Indonesia, I remember going to an ATM and withdrawing 1 million Indonesian Rupiah. 1 million. I was a millionaire. For context, this is what that looks like. In reality, it's not nearly as much money as it sounds. About £53 sterling or 71 US dollars. But these banknotes are glorious nonetheless, and the country has just released a highly unusual 75,000 Rupiah note to celebrate the 75th anniversary of its independence. So pack your bags and join me as we travel to Indonesia to become millionaires and take a closer look at their wonderful banknotes. If you enjoy this video, please consider subscribing. Let's begin with the standard notes, released in 2016, with the front of each bearing the theme of national heroes. Whilst in Western culture, the term national hero is often thrown around quite haphazardly, here it's an official title, the single highest title given out by the Indonesian government. It's reserved for those who perform deeds which can be remembered and exemplified for all time by other citizens, usually those who fought against colonialism, died defending the nation, or made achievements to develop and progress the nation. The 1000 sees Demouchet, known for her resistance of the Dutch colonization of Aceh, the westernmost province of the country. She was eventually captured and killed, but today remains a symbol of pride, particularly for Indonesian women. The 2000 features Mohammed Husni Tamrin, a leading political figure and activist again in the fight against Dutch rule, proposing that the name Dutch Indies be swapped for Indonesia. Tamrin tragically died in prison just 4 years before Indonesia's eventual independence in 1945. Dr. Idham Khalid can be seen on the 5000, a politician and minister having held several high-up government positions, including Speaker of the People's Representative Council and Chairman of the People's Consultative Assembly, whilst the 10,000 sees Frans Kaisiepo, 4th Governor of the Papua Province, declared a national hero for his lifelong mission of uniting Western New Guinea with Indonesia. Next up, the bright green 20,000 features Sam Ratulangi, the first governor of Sulawesi and committee member who ratified Indonesia's constitution upon independence. Whilst the bright blue 50,000 portrays Juanda Kotawi Jeje, the country's 10th and final prime minister before switching to presidents. And lastly, for the standard notes at least, the 100,000 features both the country's first president and vice president, Sukarno and Muhammad Hatta respectively, both of whom prominently fought for Indonesia's independence.
Okay,
Yeah.
we have never seen a banknote in all of the banknotes that we have watched.
Really?
Where it's two people, you
Yeah.
know, supporting the whole administration of that time.
Big facts. That's definitely unique, man.
Yeah,
Not
they
too
need
many
to-
I can know that's doing this right here. That's
At
fire.
all. They need to update ours.
Yeah, every time we
It's a
watch
little
these
outdated.
videos, we say that.
Yes, it's a little outdated, okay?
From the Dutch. It's these two figures who can be seen again on the new 75,000 note,
Nice.
but more on that later. Each note features a watermark, although they don't appear to be of the national hero on the note, and I couldn't find any information whatsoever on who they are. As well as the national heroes, all notes feature the country's national emblem above the note's year of issue and a map of the country, although the map's located at the bottom of the 100,000. And in this vertical box towards the bottom right can be seen a batik pattern, an Indonesian style of dyeing cloth. This pattern differs from note to note, with the 5,000 portraying a mangrove root batik design for instance, whilst the 50,000 is intended to resemble clouds. The patterns can be further seen in the background, behind the portraits on each note. But it's not just meaningful national symbols. The notes contain a number of security features designed to make them difficult to counterfeit. First up, there's my favourite feature, UV ink. Each note comes to life with colour when exposed to ultraviolet light, most notably seeing their batik designs vibrantly glow. It's perhaps most impressive on the 50,000, which sees the cloud pattern revealed in greater detail, or the 2,000, which sees the map of Indonesia shine most brightly. On the left of each note, the denomination becomes visible beside the initials BI, standing for Bank Indonesia, and on the 1, 2, 5 and 10,000 notes, a coloured strip appears, again reading BI and the denomination. Next there's microprint, tiny writing that can be found hidden across each note, almost impossible to see with the naked eye. On most of the notes, it can be seen in the circular edges around the portraits, simply reading BI and the denomination. But on the 100,000, it can be found in the numbers at the top left, again reading BI 100 in a checkered pattern. There's a see-through register, this weird symbol here, which is actually half of Bank Indonesia's logo, with the other half printed on the reverse. When held up to light, the image completes, meaning the note is most likely genuine. There's a Orion constellation, these tiny rings or donuts that printers and computer software detect to prevent the bank.
Hey, listen, if you watch this video, man, I'm just recommending you right now, don't even try to make counterfeit off of this. It's impossible. From what I'm seeing right here, too many detailed small prints, too many patterns, too many UV lights. You got a lot of to make for just $1. You didn't try to do that 20,000 more times just to get the rich, you know what I'm saying? Like, just don't.
They made it impossible.
They made it impossible.
Yeah,
we
don't condone that. You gotta
At all.
rewind, babe.
Meaning the note is most likely genuine. There's a Orion constellation, these tiny rings or donuts that printers and computer software detect to prevent the banknote being photocopied. There's an embossed number representing the denomination in the upper right corner of each note, and in the vertical box containing the batik can be seen a latent image with the initials BI. The larger 3 denominations feature the bank's logo in colour variable ink, whilst the larger 2 both feature metallic security fibres. And finally, all notes feature these strange lines on their edges. First, they're a tactile feature to help the blind or partially sighted distinguish between each note. Notice how there's only one set of lines on the 100,000, right up to 7 on the 1,000. But they also double up as a security feature. If you bend each note like this, you can perfectly connect the lines on either edge. Counterfeiters often have trouble replicating this. Now it's time to turn these notes over. Whilst the front has a single theme of national heroes, the back features 3 themes: flowers, important sights and dances. The 1000 sees Fort Belgica on the island of Banda Neira between 2 Cocktown orchids and a Tifa dance. Certain design elements glow under UV light, most notably the serial numbers. The 2000 displays the impressive Sianok Canyon, Magnolia champaca flower and appearing dancer, and again simply sees various existing elements glow. Mount Bromo, an active volcano in East Java, can be seen on the 5000, besides the tuberose and Gambyong dancer. Under UV light, the flowers glow, and a box with the initials BI becomes visible. The 10,000 portrays the Wakatobi National Park, a marine national park and World Heritage Site, alongside a Magnolia vrisiana and Pacarina dancer. This note is by far the most interesting under ultraviolet light, seeing some clownfish glow as well as what I believe to be a tarsia, although I couldn't find a source for that. The 20,000 sees the Derawan Islands and a green sea turtle, plus a type of orchid with a really long Latin name and a gong dancer. A rhinoceros hornbill becomes visible in UV light, and the metallic strip glows in multiple colours. The 50,000 bears the world-famous Komodo National Park, but slightly disappointingly no dragons, besides the plumeria and legon dancer. UV light reveals what I believe to be some kind of finch, although again I couldn't find a source. And finally, the 100,000 sees the beautiful Raja Ampat Islands, alongside a moon orchid and Topeng Betawi dancer. Once again, I couldn't find a source, but I believe under UV light, this bird is an eastern osprey. Plus on the left, we see a somewhat adorable night sky. Now I'll be honest, most of the world's banknotes feature places of national importance, and a great deal feature native flowers. But featuring national dances is really quite unusual and probably my favourite part of these banknotes, offering a really unique insight into Indonesia's culture. But all that said, these notes are completely eclipsed by the brand new 75,000 rupiah.
I like that. I like that they, really did more than a lot of cultures that we've seen. when it comes to their money, especially coming from a tourist perspective. You know, when I look at the money, I can see a lot about their culture, something that I may have not had known.
Yeah.
You know, before, and be like, oh, okay, well, let me go see if they're doing some kind of ceremony where I can see this dance.
Exactly. Yeah,
you know?
yeah. For us
So
as
that's
well,
cool.
like we had the $100 bill on it, and we was on it, and then it had somebody jigging. Or Zodi Cohen. Right.
OMG.
That would be a little clean now. That would
We'll
be tight.
be on the $100 bill.
For real.
World peace.
Yeah,
Okay,
something.
national peace. Something.
This note is incredible. It was released to mark 75 years of independence, and as such is largely themed around that, as well as some of the major technological achievements of the country in those years. Firstly, there's Sukarno and Muhammad Hatta, the first president and vice president seen on the 100,000, who were prominent figures in the fight for independence. To their left can be seen the flag hoisting ceremony from the Declaration of Independence, and below them a train from the Jakarta MRT, or subway. Further right can be seen the marvellous Utefa Bridge, partially seen on the left of the note, with the image completing as a security feature. And above it is a section of the Trans-Java Toll Road, a 725-mile road that spans the length of the island of Java. The note bears many similarities with the standard notes, including the national emblem, year of issue, batik patterns, latent image, watermark, see-through register, microprint and tactile line, as well as a pair of cool new features. First, there's a holographic strip which appears to move as you move the note, and then there's a similar design in the bottom left that alternates between gold and green. The front doesn't really do anything under UV light, which is a tremendous shame, but it's a pretty impressive banknote otherwise.
It is.
The reverse is slightly more interesting under UV, seeing a batik design, a yellowy strip, and the initials NKRI, or Negara Kesatuan Republik Indonesia, the country's full name. In ordinary light, we see a group of children in traditional Indonesian clothes. This kid in the middle was actually the subject of quite some controversy, with many people claiming he was dressed in Chinese clothes, not Indonesian. However, this is completely false, and Bank Indonesia even issued a statement saying as much. Above them is a Merah Putih satellite, launched in 2018 at a cost of 165 million US dollars, which equates to an astounding 2.3 trillion Indonesian rupiah, in front of a globe with Indonesia highlighted in gold ink. Again, the satellite is partly printed on the bottom of the note, and can be bent to complete the image. If I were to bend it that way, it would likely permanently misshape the note, so instead I'll demonstrate with the second note.
That is beautiful.
Similarly, the batik pattern on the far left and far right join up, which I'll demonstrate with the third and fourth note.
Come on, man.
So you're probably wondering why I have so many of these notes, especially given that only a limited number were printed, available at only 45 banks across the country.
Yeah,
and
and I've noticed that they only do print a certain limit amount when it comes to these notes that
The
they design.
special ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have we ever seen children on a banknote?
Never. Not that I can remember. And we did
the ones that we have reacted
to. Yes. Indonesia's definitely like the first ones for our attention that we saw that had children on their banknotes.
Yeah.
Very unique. Very unique.
Are they number one? Y'all let us know if there's any other countries that have children on their banknotes.
Yeah,
That would be
100%.
cool to know.
Yeah.
limited to one per citizen. Well, it's because I'm giving 5 of them away over on my Instagram, at Half Asleep Chris. So
So that's the end of the video, guys.
Frame them. Hey, I would have had one, wouldn't even want to spend it. You feel me? Like, for y'all, just easy come, easy go. You know, exchange. But for me and my fam, like, we would see something like this and be very, very wild by it because our dollar doesn't have that much UV light, doesn't have that much input in on it. Like, it's just, it does. We do have our $100 bill to have UV.
Yeah, the 100.
That's the only one. But, yeah. Other than that, y'all stuff is dope as well, though.
Yeah, it was cool. So we hope you guys enjoyed this video with us. Like this video, subscribe, turn on the post notification bell. We have enabled our super thanks if you like to support the channel that way, as well as our reaction request form is in our description box below. We'll see you soon.
Peace.